Welcome to our geometry lesson for Group B. So let's see what you need to take out of your learning kit. You need to take out your geometry packet out of your red math folder, your multiplication chart from your red math folder, your blue tile shapes from your hands-on manipulatives bag. We're going to take out your calculator, couple pieces of blank paper, paste, scissors, and a pencil. All right, so here's what we're going to do first. We're going to be tracing our shapes. We're going to be labeling the angles and sides. We're going to be sorting our shapes into categories of how many of the amount of sides for each shape. We're going to be doing some multiplication, and we're going to be checking our multiplication with our multiplication chart and our calculator. So let's start with the first step. Now, the good thing about these movies is that you can stop at each step and take the time that you need to finish the step and just pause the video, and then you can go on to the next step. So I'm just going to be doing things a little more quickly just to show you the steps, and you can take your time to go through each step basically. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you guys about that. All right, so here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out our geometry packet, and in the very front you're going to see a packet with a bunch of different shapes. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your shapes. You're going to get a blank piece of paper. You're going to cover up your shapes like this, and you are going to trace. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to be tracing our triangles today. So you're going to use your pencil. You're going to trace your triangles as best you can. This is good for their hand-eye. Just tracing the different types of triangles that you see. So take your time and do that. When you're finished with your tracing, here's what you're going to do next. You're going to start to label the angles and the sides of the triangle. So this is what your traced shape should look, something like that. Now when you're labeling the angles, what you're going to do is you're going to make a curved line on the inside of the angles. So there are 3 angles in a triangle. There are 3 angles in a triangle, and there are 3 sides in the triangle. And how you're going to label the sides is like this. So you've got 3 angles and 3 sides in your triangle. So you're going to keep going like that and finish tracing my shapes and labeling the angles and the sides for this whole packet. The first page of this packet. So you're going to keep going like that. With all of your triangles. Should look something kind of like that, okay? So the next thing you're going to do after you have done tracing your triangles and label the angles and the sides of your triangles, you're going to go on to the next step, and that is to sort the shapes in your geometry tile kit. So the first thing you're going to do is, if you have a sorting mat, you might have a sorting mat. Otherwise, just take a mat, something to put your shapes on, and you're going to dump everything out, and you're just going to sort by the number of sides. So all these 3-sided shapes are all going to be triangles, so you're going to put those in a pile. You're going to put your 4-sided shapes in a pile. You're going to put your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shapes in a pile. Now I have a trick for counting the sides. Let me show you. Let me start with one that's a little bit, this might be a little tricky to count. How do you keep track? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How do you do that? So what you're going to do is you hold it by one of the angles, and then you're just going to count going one direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sides. All right, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to put your shapes into categories for number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. You're going to keep going like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. All right, so we're going to put them in categories, and then when you're done with that phase, we're going to go on to the next phase. So go ahead and put your shapes into categories of how many sides there are in each shape, okay? And when you've done that, you can go on to the next step. Now, here's what you're going to do at your next step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what you're going to do is you are going to do some multiplication. After you finished your sorting, you're going to multiply. So let's do our triangles as an example of what you're going to do. So let's see, how many triangles do I have in my kit? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 triangles, and there are 3 sides in each triangle. So you're going to find out how many sides there are all together in this pile. Okay? So each triangle has 3 sides. There are 5 triangles. You're going to find out how many sides there are in all in this pile. Okay? So the way you're going to do that is just like this. You've got 5 triangles. There are 3 sides in each. So your multiplication problem is going to be 5 times 3. Now you're going to do that with your multiplication chart. And then you're going to do it with your calculator. So let's remember how we use this. We go 5, 3, and you're going to find where they meet. 15. 5 times 3 is 15. All right, so 15 is the answer for the first one. Let's check with our calculator. 5 times 3 equals 15. All right, so you're going to do that with each pile, with each category of shapes. For the ones with 4, it's going to be something like this. It's going to be 4 times however many there are in total. That's going to be your multiplication problem. Let's say there are 6 4-sided shapes. It's going to be 4 times 6. How many sides to get all together in the group? To find your multiplication answer, you're going to go to your multiplication chart. Let's see, 4 times 6. Where do they meet up? 24. And then you're going to double check again with your calculator. Okay, 4 times 6 equals 24 sides altogether in that pile. Okay, so you're going to do that with the 4-sided shapes, 5-sided shapes, and continuing on until you've done that with all your piles. Okay, so when you have finished that, we're going to pause, and then we'll go to the next step. So the next thing you're going to do is as follows. You are going to take out the other packet from your geometry folder, and you have a series of little cutting and pasting projects here. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the first one. We're focusing on ovals. It's called an oval rabbit. So they're going to be cutting out the shapes as best they can. Take their time. And then on the page behind that one, there is the steps to creating your bunny. So you're going to have another piece of blank paper. You're going to cut out the pieces, And you're going to put them in this order. We do the inside of the ears first. You're going to put the outside of the outside of the ears first. You're going to put the inside in there. You're going to paste those on. You're going to paste on the head. You're going to paste on the body, the arms, the tail, the feet, and then you're going to make a little face with a little bit eyes and whiskers and a mouth, and then you can color it in. Okay, so that is going to be your geometry lesson for Group B for today. Good luck.